Hello and welcome. This is Michele Christensen of OneNote Worthy Life, and this is a Plan With Me video for September of 2019. I'm using OneNote for Windows 10, and I'm going to show you how I evaluate the past month and set goals and plans for the upcoming month. If we haven't met, I'm a big fan of personal growth, productivity, and of course, my very favorite tool, Microsoft OneNote. I host the OneNote Bullet Journal Facebook group, so come on over and join the conversation. I'm sorry for posting this Plan With Me video so late in the month, but let's get to it. So as usual, for my Plan With Me videos, I've already done this process, and I'm going to walk you through now that I can give you a nice, concise view. I also don't really use any fancy pages in OneNote. It's all just text and lists and things, so there's not really much to demo in OneNote. So this first slide is my goals for OneNote Worthy Life for the last month. So OneNote Worthy Life is my blog and YouTube channel. So the first goal I had was to sort out a plugin that was on my old site. And I finally did this. And what I realized when I went back and looked at my archives that I had been working on this particular project. This was kind of like the last step in a project that I've been working on for almost a year. I started it last September, and I had some email lists that weren't really active from some prior business activities I had. So I was getting rid of them, and then this plugin got in the way. So I had to go through a thing with the company to restore my login and stuff. So I was really excited to get this done because, like I said, I've been working on it since last September. So it's about 11 months. And the page you're looking at, I put the goals for the month in black, and then I just use a different color to add comments or reflections or whatever. And the color doesn't really mean anything. It's just so I can tell my evaluation apart from what I originally wrote. The next goal I had was to file my business license on time. I did that. And I also wanted to follow my editorial schedule, which I did better at, but I didn't fully hit every milestone I had set. And this is going to be kind of an ongoing effort for me. I want to be able to really plan and hit all of my content points that I want to create, because sometimes things have to come after each other, and I want to get better at that. So that's going to be an ongoing goal. And then something that happened during this month was that YouTube changed their live stream platform, and it's not very easy to host a two-person chat, which you may or may not know. I was hosting a monthly live chat on YouTube called the Take Note Chat, where I would have guests and they would talk or teach about a specific application of OneNote, like how to use it in a certain situation. So I do want to get the technology sorted out on that and get that chat relaunched once I'm all ready to go. So now for personal goals. So one of the first goals I set each month is a calorie goal. And just to be clear, because I did get this question, this is not how many calories I eat in a day. It's how much I undereat by on average for the month. I weigh a little bit more than is healthy for my height, so I'm actively working on dropping the extra weight. I didn't hit this, unfortunately, but it's just a long journey, and I just keep trying each month, month after month. Some months I hit it, some months it's really easy, and some months it's not. One thing I did want to mention is that I set goals for my weight differently than I think a lot of people do. I like to set goals for things that I can control. So that's things like how much I eat, or how much I undereat by, or how much I exercise, or what types of exercise I do. Those things are all under my control. What I can't control or predict is how my body's going to react. So I can't really say, like, if I do this action that I'm going to drop 1 pound from that. So I just find it easier and more rewarding to set goals for things that I can control, rather than what a lot of people do, which is, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds by the end of the year or something like that. Okay, so my next goal has to do with my theme for 2019 and beyond, which is Be Ready. The current area I'm addressing is the Postal Mail, which is something I really dislike handling, and I tend to let it pile up. I've been working on doing an average of 10 minutes per day for the last few months, and it's worked out really well. I've gotten really on top of the mail, and I find that I can tackle these shorter sessions without hating it quite as much. So that's progress. I had planned on continuing this habit through the whole month of August, and I did not do it. Didn't finish the month. But that was the first time I didn't do this since I started this habit in March. So I felt pretty good about that. And even though I didn't do quite as much time as I wanted, I do have the comfort of knowing that there's nothing in the incoming mail that is urgent. So that's great. That's really, good to know that. So the next goal I have is there's a book I've been working on reading, and I'm kind of doing a deep dive study in it. It's called Peak Performance. And if you haven't heard me talk about this, it's a book on how to train and perform at your highest level without suffering burnout. And it's a really interesting read because the two authors, one comes from a sports background and the other comes from an academic and professional background. And they were both really, really high performers, and they both suffered burnout. And so they have come together and written this book. And it's been fascinating for me. I really liked it. So I'm going through some burnout personally right now, and I have multiple times in my adult life. And so I'm reading this book with the hopes of finding a way to better manage my workloads and things like that so I don't get burned out in the future. I didn't finish my whole reading goal this month, but I do hope to finish next month. And I'm reading it slowly and doing a lot of note taking and kind of putting things into action. So it's not just a quick read for me, although it could be. So the next thing on this personal list is my sewer project. In case you haven't heard me talk about this, we found out in July that there's a problem where our sewer line meets the city line in the middle of the street under the, asphalt. And so we're working with the city to try and figure out what the problem is and who should fix it and how to get it fixed and that kind of thing. And it's kind of stressful because there's not a clear path forward. And I'm dealing with a lot of different people and different agencies and things like that. As of the end of August, though, we had submitted our second round of paperwork. And so we were waiting for a response from the city before I can go any further with that. So that yellow circle you see next to it is means that I'm waiting on it. It's like a yellow light at a stoplight. So I do want to book a trip to the East Coast where my family is. I haven't been able to do that, though, because of this whole uncertainty about the sewer. But I may book it soon. We needed to replace the mixer in the shower. Got that done. It was really the month for plumbing repairs in my house. I also need a new dishwasher, which we ordered but waiting on delivery. And again, yellow circle because I have done everything I can. I'm waiting on someone else. My final goal for this month was to fill out the daily page of the Full Focus Planner, which is actually a paper planner that I'm trying just for kind of a short trial run to help me get my daily task list under control, and also as a way to study the work of Michael Hyatt. He's a big name in the kind of like productivity, business, personal growth sector, and I've wanted to really dig into his work for a while. So the Full Focus Planner is his planner that he created for himself and now sells. So I am learning a lot, and I feel like it's really helped me. But I really prefer to have things all in OneNote, so I don't know if I'll continue to use it or not. The next page is August's What Else page. And this is a page where I just write down kind of anything that happened that was unexpected, whether it was good, bad, whatever, just things that impacted how the month turned out. And I'm really glad I got so many home repairs done. We had all these things that needed to be done, and some things did slip, though. So I want to keep working on finding the right balance of taking on new projects without having things that slip, and I'm just not quite there yet. I also feel like I have too many concurrent tracks happening, so I want to continue to try and narrow my focus, and this has been like an ongoing kind of thing for me, is that I have too many things going on at once. Then this page is my August wins page, and I just decided to try this as a fun little experiment. This is something Michael Hyatt talks about, where he has like a regular practice of writing down your wins for the day, for the week, for the quarter, whatever. And so I just thought it might be something fun to try. So in addition to the things I mentioned, we also had 4 small plumbing repairs fixed. One of my dogs had very bad skin issues, and so we finally got that on a good treatment plan. I'm working toward kind of mixing up my schedule to have it line up with what I'd like it to look like. That would be my ideal week. And I'm finishing my morning routine on time most days, which means I'm getting better at accurately estimating how long things are going to take. And I know some people just do like a minimal morning routine, but I do like a lot of cleaning and cooking and things like that during the morning routine. And yeah, another win is all those little plumbing repairs were fixed, so that was great. The last thing I like to look at is my annual plan. This is what I thought I would be doing in August when I set up the year at the beginning of this year. And so I deliberately kept everything really light on my annual plan. And both of these things happened. I got my business license done. We got the family birthdays all planned and celebrated, so that was really nice. And then finally, here is my August calendar. Let me scroll to center that. I like to write down one good thing that happened each day, and so when I have it at the end of the month, it just feels really nice, and it really kind of uplifts me, and it's very happy and fun. But let's get on to September. So my starting point is always my goals from the prior month, my goals in review, really, and then my annual plan. So in September, we just have one family birthday. That was all I put on my annual plan. And then these are my goals for One Noteworthy Life. And so my number one goal is to follow my editorial schedule. Like I said, this is a skill I want to build because it just allows you to create better content and stuff that builds on each other if you can set a timeline and have things come out in the correct order and on time. So I do want to continue to work on that skill of setting up and sticking to an editorial schedule. I also want to get my tech set up and tested and ready to go for the Take Note chat and then resume it. And then I have some updates to my website I need to do. So that's my goals for One Noteworthy Life and my personal goals. So I'm going to stay with that same goal of under eating by 370 calories a day. For my Be Ready theme, I'm going to continue with the Postal Mail. And then I want to finish the Peak Performance book. I think I'd like to just try and finish the whole thing and then maybe spend a month or so implementing some of the things in there. So the sewer project, the East Coast trip, and the dishwasher are all kind of on hold right now. Those are all from last month. And then the last thing I do is put in a calendar for September so I can start writing down all those good things that happened. And that's it. I am all set up. And as I often end these Plan With Me videos, I really want to encourage you, if you don't have a review process like this set up, to just start with something. It's just so helpful and so illuminating. Like, it really helps me to see, like, sometimes things take a really long time and that I'm not lollygagging or wasting time, and that I do get more done than I think I get done. And it kind of is like it feels like a reward or acknowledgement when I realize, wow, I just finished something that took almost a year to complete. And if you don't have a process like this set up, yours may not look like mine, and it may not be as detailed or whatever, but just start somewhere and start with whatever time frame works for you. Maybe it's every night before bed, or maybe it's every week, but just start somewhere because it's really helpful. So if you have any questions or comments, things that you'd like to see in more detail, I'd be happy to help you out. Just leave a comment in this video. And if you want more videos like this, as well as OneNote tutorials, please subscribe by hitting the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.